All right, hope you can hear me, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. This is a live Q&A session, and it's going to be your stage, actually. I invite you to write your questions at the Q&A section downstairs. We are also streaming on YouTube, and for some reason, I get an echo here, and I hear it. Just a sec. So build up your questions here. In a minute, I'm going to start with, we recently released a public deck, a new public deck. I'm going to run fast through the presentation. Maybe we have some investors here that this is the first time they're hearing the story. I promise I won't be boring. I run fast. There is some interesting information there. The rest, by the way, I urge you to read the latest 20F we just released with the annual reports. It includes a lot of new information and business updates and business models. So everything is there. Here today, I'm going to answer everything that I can in terms of, going forward in markets and how we see the business growing, and keep it to non-public information, to only public information, of course. I'm going to run fast and just want to make sure that everything is going live okay here, and we go through. Here we go. So we are a clean tech company that developed heat battery, a thermal storage that charges with electricity and outputs heat from the industrial sector. Industrial sector heat is 25% of global energy. It's a huge, huge market. And what we bring is the ability to charge when the grid is available, when the prices are low, when the wind is blowing, when the sun is shining. Otherwise, you can just plug in a toaster and you get ongoing heat. But this is not how things are going today. There is a massive gap between off-peak prices, average prices, and peak prices, and also the grid is not available. So you need a battery. You need a battery like you need a battery for your Tesla to charge it at night. And this is exactly what we have developed. Now, in terms of where we are in the companies, I would say development, evolve, timeline, we are around for 13 years. We have started with developing the technology. Then we moved into pilots to demonstrate the technology. We pilot across the globe with companies like NL. You can see the project on the bottom left here. We pilot with the New York Power Authority, with the Israeli Defense Forces, with a factory, a large manufacturer of plastics in Brazil. And now we move to the commercial phase. So we are building global infrastructure to evolve, grow, sell, support, also building manufacturers to infrastructure to manufacture. We have built a massive gigafactory that is already fully automated. I have a small surprise for you soon, because yesterday when we visited the site, I took some pictures and some videos. So, and now we are moving to commercial sales. We are building a massive pipeline of opportunities and upcoming projects. We have already signed 3 major deals for us with a Heineken brewery here in Israel, with a large state-owned hospital named Wolfson, and with a major pet food manufacturer coming out of Sweden, PPF, for their facility in Hungary. So we keep on going, sorry. By the way, we've been awarded, nominated by the European Commission, Baird, Time Magazine, Best Invention of 2023, Bloomberg New Energy Finance finalist, Edison Awards finalist. So we are well recognized, moving into sales. I'm going to show you soon how this goes. Now, this is not our first round. Most of our team already sold the company to Siemens. We were part of a solar technology developer. We sold the company to Siemens at almost $500 million. Really similar, a slow start, introducing the technology into market, building the pipeline, reached almost $3 billion pipeline, and then sold the company to Siemens. Most of the team served under Siemens, and after 3 years, we saw the massive need for this heat battery element, and we moved to open this business. We invested $40 million for own capital here, so we are well aligned and in the game here. This is the business case. This is in Europe, the difference between average prices and low rate prices. I'm not talking about peak prices, and you see that the arbitrage here is massive. Now, you could think, okay, maybe it's just for now, but actually the trend is going deeper and deeper. The more you got renewables into the grid, the more volatility you got, the more spread you got between hours when the wind is blowing and the sun is shining, I don't know, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 12 at noon, 2 hours where no sun, maximum demand. And so you can see that most of the countries from 20 to 24 are getting into the green. Green mean great business for us. We also live very well with the reds and the oranges, but green is really massive. So that's the technology. I don't want to waste your Q&A time. It's a giant toaster with heaters and unlimited cycles, no degradation over time, a massive machine to support both the grid and to electrify industrial heat. And this, we are using crushed rocks as a medium. We are manufacturing these cells, battery cells, then battery cubes, and then modules, and these are all shipped to the site. We insert the heaters, and actually I'm going to now show you from yesterday's visit how things are going, and we are full steam ahead with the 3 projects I mentioned, manufacturing, prefabricating everything we can to ship it on time to the site to minimize site hours. And this is how it looks. And enjoy. I apologize, it's a little bit scrappy, but it's really live from the field. You can see behind me here where the crushed rocks are being made and get ready to load into the cubes, the system. This is our media, our storage media. Also, we have our pipes here outside, and we have the steel and all the rest of the metals we need to fully vertically integrate our production. We take in raw materials like iron, steel, pipes, crushed rocks, and we turn them into products in this facility. Out of these machines, we produce trays, and you see it automatically moving to the next stop. Additional components are manufactured here. They are inserted into the box to increase the conductivity and the heat transfer. This main machine is filling all the cubes with the raw materials and again the suction system. And here at the heart of the system, you see the robots that take all the parts and assemble our cubes, our big cubes. These big cubes will be later assembled into the modules. You can see ready to be shipped module. Thank you for spending the time with me, and now we are going back to the office. A case study. What's the business here? I mean, we are not an equipment provider. The technology and the equipment is an enabler for an amazing business model. Our business model is energy as a service, where we provide heat to the end client on demand and with a discount over his current prices. But we have also another client for the same system, which is the grid. We install the system at the premises of the client. We charge it with electricity coming out of the grid, but actually we are not just buying electricity in most of the cases. We are also providing services to the grid. Why the grid needs us? Because the grid needs balancing. The grid needs in many minutes, in a day, in a year, in a week, they need someone to take electricity fast from the grid to balance it because they have surplus of wind or surplus of solar or the drop in demand. So we are a giant toaster who knows how to burn electricity really fast. So you get paid for being ready to burn electricity. That's capacity payments. You're being paid once you're activated by the grid operator. Then you take these electrons that you were paid for, and now you sell them as heat to the end client. So, and also you got grants and all the things you get today in Europe for green heat or green energy. So you have multiple line of revenues. In PPF projects, by the way, we also integrate a solar field. And now we can provide them also with electricity and clean energy. This is why we have partners that are solar developers. So this is like the perfect business model and the perfect way to decarbonize a plant. We are saving them almost $2 million a year. This is not something they are doing for the green flag or just to play nice. We are saving 35% over the current prices with natural gas, which is amazing. But we are also making at least 18% project IRR pre-finance, which is also crazy. You don't get these returns today for any renewable technology. And we do so because first, it's new. There are margins there are gaps there and spreads. Second, you have two clients for the same system. And this model is pretty unique for us. I believe some will follow, but the technology is the enabler here. You can't do it with lithium ion. You can't do it with any other technology that is not a heat storage that generates steam and provide it to the end client. This project, I believe, will close finance during this year and start construction. So some near future developments or what to expect during 25. I get this question a lot. In terms of monetization, so it's amazing. This presentation is a month old and it's already, a bit obsolete in terms of, well, we already signed with Baran Group, securing the sale of two commercial projects. It's signed. Now we are waiting for closing. We also reached the milestone where we are at the second payment of the Tempo Heineken project. It means we are on ground assembling the system, and they have signed off for that. And with Enel, actually, we're expecting the completion of the pilot, the handover of the system. Thus, we can recognize the rest of the revenue. And in terms of new stuff, we believe we're going to get another around $10 million signed this year on top of the three projects. One major term sheet in the US, but in Europe, we're going to get 2 free projects. I believe we hope for more, but this is something we feel comfortable with. One in Eastern Europe and the others in Spain and Western Europe. So there is a lot of things going on in 25, but if I want to focus you, execution. 25 is execution year. If we are executing according to plan, the Heineken project and the Wolfson project, then the conversion of the pipeline is just a matter of patience and time, because we have an amazing showroom in Heineken. It's a 40,000 bottles per hour brewery. It's huge. It's something that you can fly in any corporate and they can feel comfortable to sign and to integrate such a system. Thermal batteries will and are replacing boilers. That's a fact. And we want to be in the forefront of that. And by having this installation, we are first to market. Europe is the main pipeline. What I like here is the correlation to the slide you saw with the price differences. Wherever you got these arbitrages, it makes sense to integrate a project. And industrial from, all sort of pulp and paper, food, chemistry, pharma, you name it. Everyone needs heat. I don't want to deep dive here. You can read it. It's really self-explanatory. We saw the factory, and in terms of competitive edge over other companies, again, you can read it. It's really clear. I think that what really differentiates us today is first, we are at the market, commercial ready, ready to deploy. We have most of the companies around there are around, let's build the technology, make it more efficient, make it, I don't know, they want to be in Scientific American. We want to be at the Financial Times. We have already set in place business models, partnerships, distribution networks. We are years ahead. I mentioned the business model, why you go to energy as a service and not just equipment sale. And I really want to move fast to the Q&A. So I'm going to stop sharing, and please, if there are any questions on what I just showed you, feel free to raise your hand. And if I'm not getting to all the questions after the session, I promised you I will follow up and email you a direct response. Yeah, so question about the Baran project. Unfortunately, I can't disclose which project, but you saw we have 3 projects, so, and we are selling 2. The reason we are selling 80% of this project is that we want to finance them. We don't want to take corporate finance and, corporate equity and put it into projects. We want to build this project fast. Baran is the largest engineering company in our state. They are a force. They help us to move forward faster. And we take their money, we build the projects, and we can move and build more projects while we are keeping part of the equity, and in the future increase dramatically the stakes we keep in these projects and get to partnerships where we can keep the majority. So I think that that's a popular question. I need to be delicate here because I can't disclose, in terms of future fundraisers and dilution. And I can say that first, most of the investment made was already made. I mean, we have developed the technology, we set up the factory, we set up everything. We have just minimal running cost. We are at a valuation that is ridiculously low. We also a company with a management that does everything she can. We are doing everything we can to avoid dilution. We have our own money inside. We never put up deals that includes crazy toxic warrants or any other facility that makes sure that the management keeps their job and that's it. So we will finance the company at the right time. We don't need a lot of cash to get into a point where we have substantial revenues. We also have a lot of, I would say, positive developments coming in. We promised really the minimum. We're in a phase where we're just signing deals, growing our partnerships, executing projects. So most of the news we're going to put out there is progress and acting according to plan. I think that our investors should and would be happy if we can get more resources to grow faster and get into more projects and keep our equity stake higher in future projects. But it's a balance. I really hope we can dramatically increase valuation over dilution over time. We have all the right tools to do so. We can't beat the market also, if the market remains violent like it was in the last period, and also maybe in the last 2 years for microcap, it's really hard to battle it. But if the market will be normal, I think that we can put in place a lot of news, a lot of positive developments that will support the growing valuation of the company and avoiding massive dilution. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna answer the written questions, and then I'm gonna let you talk, okay? Those who are raising their hands. Okay, a question about, can a crushed rock store more energy per kilogram compared to lithium battery? Um, uh, First, we are sailing in the sea and they are running on roads. We are not providing the same service. This is an electrical storage and we are a heat battery. I would say that, by the way, each module that you saw is 2 to 3 megawatt. So if I answer it, in a simple way, yes, okay. But we are not competing with lithium ion, and so you don't have to be. And by the way, we are way, way, way cheaper than lithium ion. But again, no need to worry about lithium ion. About the pipeline and when can it be converted to deals, I just mentioned. I mean, execution of the first projects, and then the over $500 million pipeline we see will start to convert into signed deals. Of course, it's a funnel. We have some projects that are really advanced. We have some projects that are, in a range of 12 to 18 months, and we got a lot of projects that are further down the road. I believe that the growth will be dramatically faster in the next year than this year. I can give predictions that are not public, apologies, except of what I just showed you. Um, So, questions, are we going to market the technology in the US? We have a partner in the US, Rock Storage. They are now active in some states in the East Coast. I absolutely see a case study and a business case for our technology in the East Coast. And I think that the US market now is a little bit volatile. You know exactly why, but we do have a case study. Gas prices are not that low everywhere. There are corporates that do want and needs to decarbonize by either decision or some restrictions. So absolutely yes, but the European market is boiling hot. It's crazy. We have such a value proposition in every European country that it just makes sense for us to take our limited resources and put them in Europe now. So, uh, uh, how do we see ourselves compared to other heat batteries technologies? Well, first, we're not going to be the only one. You're going to have 20, 30, 40 companies out there. Some will be specializing in special industries. But bottom line, I think that out of the few leading companies, I think, well, first, we are the only public company out there. The reason for that is that we started way back. We had no bucket of finance, and so we went public. And so the private companies you have around today are raising capital in valuations that are between 500 and $1 billion, and we are years ahead. Also, I think that we go to different segments. I think it's a blue ocean. We have enough for everyone in the next 10 years, so we can prosper and build $1 billion companies for all of these companies. Savings for PPF projects, I just went over it. They are going to save almost $2 million a year. And question about, are we affected by green subsidies being volatile? Some are canceled, and will the European Union continue to support it? You didn't hear me say anything about subsidies. We are going head to head with natural gas. We are competitive to natural gas in the locations I showed you, and we are providing discount over natural gas. Now, that's a great starting point. And now we are also 100% clean. We enjoy green subsidies while they're there, and they are there. European Union just last week announced about a huge green industrial deal. So it's here to stay, for sure, in the European Union. And so we are not affected at all by, the volatility of incentives. By the way, also, European Union is moving from sticks to carrots. They are not going to punish the companies that are not standing in the pollution, carbon emission, but they're going to give them subsidies and grants to move. Perfect for us, we're in the carrot side. Can you discuss why the stock price was affected negatively after great earnings? Well, if I could answer this, I think I was a very happy and rich man. We were surprised as well. I thought the earnings are positive. We show progress, but we learned that you keep on putting positive news. At some point, the market reacts and fix whatever was done there. So I hope this satisfies. With the rise of AI and tremendous heat produced, do you see Brenmiller moving to create again? We are not doing heat capture today, but that's a business decision. This is a low-grade heat. I can tell you that first, AI is great for us in terms of algorithms and help us to predict where and when and how to operate the system and buy electricity. Second, it dramatically increases electricity demand. So volatility, again, is on the rise. And we have future application coming up for data centers cooling. Again, I don't see any scenario where you don't have an amazing increase in data center needs. So we hope to be there also. Question about the EIB second tranche, and is it going to affect our, well, EIB provide us with a budget to build a factory, and we built it so we can manufacture $250 million per year with just the first tranche. So that's more than enough for us. We don't need to increase that. So we're going to keep it like that. Are we going to do buybacks? We are not eligible to buybacks according to the local law here. In general, I can say, my personal belief is that affect the price of the stock in an early growth company by growing the company, and don't go for cheap short-term moves. But we are not in this position anyway. What else do we have here? What can you consider as a fair valuation? Every entrepreneur believes that his company is undervalued, but I really believe that we are extremely undervalued just by looking at the peers. So you can take a look at Rondo, you can take a look at Antora, you can take a look at any other company that raised capital recently, valued at around $1 billion. We are valued at $10 million. I would say that we are at least not behind them. Okay, so I really believe we should and could be closer to them than where we are today. And I hope we can, I hope the market will close that gap at some point. It's a long way, but we saw, things more crazy than that. We work hard just to put more indications that we are way undervalued. Okay, that's a hot question. I will combine two questions. Effects on from current administration and non-US exposure. So non-US exposure, you saw most of our attention is in Europe. All our business activity is located in Europe. We have a headquarters for the business activity in Madrid. All our front is in Europe, European guys, local country managers. We are in Europe. Now, in terms of current US administration, we are not looking for subsidies. Our factory is ready to be set up in the US once with the pipeline will mature enough. We believe in local manufacturing, so we can enjoy all the perks of being a made in the US company. We can source all the materials in the US. We never trusted nor, built our case study on subsidies and green deals. We are just competitive to the price that you pay for your energy. So I see no reason why we should be affected. On top of it, we enjoy dramatically grid prices volatility and gas prices volatility. I think this administration is the best in the world or we ever saw in creating volatility. Okay, they create amazing volatility in the US, in Europe, and we enjoy it because the price for our customers goes up. We buy it in the lows. Our business case is getting stronger and better. So we are ending this session soon. By the way, please feel free to reach out directly anytime. You can reach out to me, Nir at Bren Energy. You can reach out to investors at brenenergy.com. I'm available for any question. Well, I really apologize. Our time is just over, and I can try here and let Robert Sussman to take a question, and to be the last one. I'll be available for you afterwards in over email. And thank you for taking time. Robert, you're allowed to talk.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I am sorry.
Okay. A few questions for you.
Yes.
I don't know whether the presentation from February was out of date, but it said you had a European pipeline of 200 million, but in the 20F, you said 500 million.
Yeah, 500 is global and 200
okay.
is in Europe.
Okay, another question. How much is invested in that plant? How much capital did you need to build the gigafactory?
Around $5 million.
Okay, and last question. You put out a lot of different numbers. When you say 700,000 in cash flow, what does that mean?
Can you pinpoint me?
Yeah, I can do that. It said the annual cash flow in one of your slides. It says is 700,000. You said the annual savings is 1.9 million, and the IRR is
PPF. You're referring to PPF slide number 12. Right?
I'm not sure which slide, but it definitely said the annual cash flow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Could you explain what that number is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm giving a discount. Let's say that they are paying let's say they are paying $2 million. No, I'm saying, but I'm discounting their energy prices in almost $2 million a year. And,
yes.
And yep. They are paying me 700, but this 700 is after the expenses, after the energy, after the electricity price we are paying, after the O&M. Okay, this is straight income from the project after everything is set.
Is that your
By the way, when I'm saving energy cost, it's also saving emissions. Emissions cost money.
Right. But is the $700,000, is that the net saving to the customer?
No, or it's my revenues.
It's your cash flow from the project.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. That's helpful. Thanks again, Nir.
All right. So we passed our time here, and if I get more questions, I can share it over the different medias. So thank you for your time, and hope to hear and see you soon. By the way, I'm also going online very soon at the Emerging Growth Conference. We're going to share the link, and you are welcome to join me there as well. Have a great day, and bye-bye for now.